Hello everyone, welcome to Logic Medico, where you are understanding the concepts in medicine. Today's interesting topic is lateral longitudinal arch. So let's understand the lateral longitudinal arch. Actually we have three arches, one on the medial aspect, the summit of which is really high, and that is medial longitudinal arch. It's highly resilient, it's dynamic. Whereas on the lateral aspect of the foot we can see it here, it's a small arch. Okay. It is a small arch of a larger circle. It's a small arc of a larger circle. That is a lateral longitudinal arch. More rigid, is more helping in weight transmission. So it's more rigid and helps in weight transmission. That is the main function of the lateral longitudinal arch. So before going into the arch, let's understand the basic concept behind the arch. So any arch, this is an engineered arch. You can see many stones are there in this arch. There's one stone here, many stones. But one of the major stone over here is called the keystone. This is called the keystone. As you can see, the shape of this stone is wedge shape. If I just remove the stone from its place, the entire arch is going to collapse. So that is called the keystone. That is the first aspect. Next, the stones are touching the ground at one level. This is the ground. It's touching the ground at one level. That is called the pillar. So obviously, minimum 2 pillars are there to hold the arch. Then connecting the pillars underneath the ground, there is a tie beam. It's tying the two pillars, right? So therefore it's called tie beam. Engineers just call it as beam. Okay. Then connecting one segment, this one stone is one segment. Connecting one segment with the other, there are staples, which are called as intersegmental tires. Like one bogie of the train is connected to the another bogie of the tire of the train by a tire. Okay. Intersegmental tire. Last but not the least, there are some strings holding the arch from above. These strings are actually suspending it from above, so they are acting like a slings. So there are 5 concepts or 5 structures holding the arch in place: stones, pillars, tie beams, intersegmental tires and slings. This is from engineer's perspective. But let's consider the medical field, the doctor's perspective. This is the ground. I'm just showing you how to draw the lateral longitudinal arch. We have the largest tarsal bone, which is called the calcaneus. What is this? Calcaneus. On the lateral aspect of the foot, we have one cubical bone, and this is called the cuboid. This bone is called as a cuboid because roughly it's cubical in shape, so we call it as cuboid, cube-like. Next, we have the tiniest bone on the lateral aspect next to the little toe. This bone name is fifth metatarsal. So this is the fifth metatarsal. So next to that, by the way, fourth is the head of the fourth. This is the fourth metatarsal. So these are the metatarsals. So hardly few bones are there on the lateral side. That is the calcaneus, the cuboid, and fourth and fifth metatarsals. These are the bones which are comparable with the stones. So bones forming the lateral longitudinal arch, which is comparable with the stones over here. The key bone over here is this wedge shape projection. It's called the calcaneal angle of the cuboid. It's a wedge shape now. That is a keystone or the key bone. The major joint here is the CC joint. Calcaneal cuboid joint is a major joint in this arch. Connecting. So we have finished the stones. Moving on to the pillars. This is the lateral aspect of the lateral half of the calcaneus is the posterior pillar, and the head of the fourth and fifth metatarsal is the anterior pillar. So this is the anterior pillar and this is the posterior pillar. So we finish the pillar. Moving on to the next aspect, that is tie beams. Connecting the pillars are called the tie beams. So mainly we know that there is one aponeurosis, triangular in shape, connecting this with this. It's called the plantar aponeurosis, of course the lateral half. And we know that there is a muscle on this aspect, which is called the abductor digiti minimi. So that abductor digiti minimi is also tie beam. And the lateral part of flexor digitorum brevis. All these are tie beams. So finish the tie beam, third aspect we finished. Moving on to the intersegmental tires. The intersegmental tires on this aspect is the long plantar ligament and the short plantar ligaments. So long and short plantar ligament are the intersegmental tires for this lateral longitudinal arch. So moving on to the last one, but not the least, the slings. Slings can easily be explained if you just see the feet. I'll just show you. You are viewing the lateral side of the leg. We can see the great toe here and the remaining toes here. This is a little toe. This is a dorsum of the feet, so I'll just show you the nail. Okay. So here two muscles are there. One is coming from the fibula, upper part, upper to third, and then going to the sole. This muscle name is peroneus longus. Peroneus longus. Just coming from the lower two thirds will be peroneus brevis. It will go to the fifth metatarsus, fifth base of the fifth metatarsus. This is peroneus brevis. So peroneus longus and peroneus brevis acts like a sling for the lateral longitudinal arch, along with tibialis anterior on the anterior plane. Okay, don't worry about tibialis anterior. The nerve supplying of this is a superficial peroneal nerve. It's called so because it supplies the skin mainly, but also it supplies these two muscles, peroneus longus and brevis. So these are the slings. As already mentioned, this arch, the summit of this arch is not so high like the medial longitudinal arch. It is very low. Here you can see in this right corner. So it is more rigid, less number of bones. It is mainly helping in weight transmission. To summarize, the lateral longitudinal arch, the stones is comparable to the bones over here. These bones are the calcaneus, the cuboid, the fourth and fifth metatarsals. Moving on to the pillars. The posterior pillar is the lateral half of calcaneus. The anterior pillar, which is touching the ground, is the fourth and fifth metatarsals. Moving on to the next aspect, the tie beams which are connecting the pillars. So this is a tie beam. Plantar aponeurosis, of course the lateral half, abductor digiti minimi, and lateral half of flexor digitorum brevis. So why lateral half, lateral half? It is lateral longitudinal arch, so it should be lateral half. Okay, don't worry much. Okay, the key bone, I forgot to tell you, the key bone is a wedge-shaped projection calcaneal angle of the cuboid. And the key joint is calcaneal cuboid joint. Next, moving on to the intersegmental tires. You can see the long plantar and the short plantar ligaments. These two ligaments are the intersegmental tire. These two ligaments are the tires. Intersegmental tire. Short plantar and long plantar ligaments. Last but not least, the slings are the peroneus longus of the lateral compartment of leg and peroneus brevis. Peroneus longus entering the sole and going towards the first metatarsal, but it's going like this from lateral aspect, right? So it's a sling. Peroneus brevis going from the dorsal aspect and holding on to the fifth metatarsal, peroneus brevis. Both of these are supplied by superficial peroneal nerve. Superficial peroneal nerve. And this arch is rigid. It mainly helps in the transmission of weight. And it is formed by a less number of bones and few joints. So it's more rigid. It is more shallow. The summit is not higher. It's mainly involved in weight transmission. Thank you for watching and learning from Logic Medico. If you are new to our channel, kindly consider subscribing to our channel for more videos. And please don't forget to press the thumbs up icon showing that you like this video, and share this video with your friends too. Thank you. Bye.